Hey, Mitch, can you hear me all right? Just checking my equipment here. First time I'm trying to go live, so if you can hear me, let me know. All right, cool. Thank you. So, how's it going tonight? Pretty good? All right, nice. Yeah, I just wanted to go on, do my first live stream and check my equipment, see if my camera and lights working, and maybe just give an update. Hey, Karen, I was telling Mitch, I just jumped on, wanted to test my equipment out, and wanted to go live from the first time here, and just update, I guess, on our progress of what we're doing. Did you guys see the video I posted from last night? Jerry and I were gonna go investigate the urban legend of the three German witches. That kind of went a little different than we thought, but once I learned what the family had been going through, I was kind of glad just to put out a video, hoping anybody who saw the title, who was interested in that legend, would see that the family doesn't want anybody to go there. So I thought I would at least do that. Cool. I know it's pretty late. I don't know if you're on East Coast, but I'm on Eastern time. It's about 10:20 here. Yeah, I was up doing some editing, trying to get the West Branch Witch project up, the videos up, and that was a lot of work going into that. I tell you though, hopefully, well, I'm sure you'll see as the episodes progress, the activity progressed quite a bit at that site for the West Branch, which I was actually just getting chills now, man, because I was going through a lot of the audio from one of the nights we were there, and it's really blowing my mind how many EVPs I've been picking up. I mean, I was surprised by a site like that out in the park where there would be some kind of activity. I'm actually leaning towards that area being haunted, which I didn't think it would be. But there's some crazy EVPs, and I've got a lot of them from that investigation. So as said, as these episodes get updated, you'll see with the videos, how the activity progresses and picks up, and you'll see some of the EVPs. And boy, I thought I had some pretty creepy ones from where I used to live at in my home, but out there, man, I literally was jumping around in my living room here when I was finding some of these. It blew my mind. I don't mind all my pillows back there. My kids come over. When they come over, they'll be sleeping in my bed, and I'm on this little love seat here, and they just were over this weekend, so that was my bed, and my back pays the price for it because I get all bent out of shape. Yeah, but this project has been something else. Like I never heard of it until Chuck and Jerry told me about um, this urban legend of the West Branch Witch, and as a first investigative job, I guess I was kind of excited, something to do, but I wasn't expecting something from just an outdoor area in a park somehow to produce so much just just EMF, just random, constantly, and EVPs constantly. So, hopefully, you guys will be pretty impressed at some of the evidence that we've caught. So you're in Michigan, huh, Mitch? That's cool. I've never been there before. I guess I'm not too far, but never headed up that way. Where are you from, Karen? You in Ohio? That's my son. My son lives with me. That's who was up walking by me. New Jersey. Okay, cool. Yeah, Jerry and I are in the process now. We're trying to find our next place. We're looking for a place to go investigate right now. We kind of went through this one over in New Springfield. That's where I used to live at. The house that I had my first paranormal experiences is out in New Springfield, and that's kind of how I got familiar with that Three German Witches urban legend, which I think's in the Ohio Haunted book. That one famous book, I can't remember the name of it. It's goes through all of like the famous hauntings in Ohio and places, and that one was in there. Seems weird that it could get that far into like books and just word of mouth and the internet, and it's at a place where a family doesn't even know how it started and don't want people there. It's kind of like disappointing in a way that that could slip through. Okay. Yeah, so we're brainstorming. If you guys know any places, that might be haunted or something, places you think would be worth checking out, maybe post some comments for me or something. Um, I know Jerry's got a pretty good spot lined up. We were talking about it last night on our way back, and I think we're gonna go check out this place next. But there's my son. There's Anthony. Man. Yeah, I was up kind of late myself doing the editing from that first video because I wanted to get that posted. Because I want to try to keep content going. This West Branch Witch has really got a lot of video and audio into it as a first one, so that's been kind of time consuming. And I've never really used this kind of equipment before, like the programs, the audio programs, and the video editor. Um, I got the same one that Chuck uses, so that way I can send him files and he can look at them and open them. Which, if you got different programs, that's kind of a problem. So, kind of getting it tweaked out to make it a smoother transition. Oh yeah, the Jersey Devil. Yeah, I've heard of that one. I've heard of that one. Yeah, Jerry was creeping me out last night. He was telling me of some urban legend in Connecticut of this white lady. Apparently, there's some spirit or ghost in Connecticut that will find people driving by and actually get in the vehicle or follow them to the cemetery. It's boy, it gave me some crazy chills thinking about that. But then I made a lot of jokes about it because I thought it was kind of funny. But that was one that's like hard to believe. Like just the spirit, it just rolls up and gets in your car and you drive her to the cemetery. It seemed kind of weird, but apparently something like that happens there. I don't know if I'd want to try that. I'm not sure if I'd be able to take it serious or I'd be too scared when I saw some kind of a spirit trying to get in the car with me, wanting a ride to the cemetery. But this is a whole lot of interesting stuff I get a chance now to look into. So I'm excited about it. Trying to get over the curve of not looking like a rookie, but I'm just going to try to get good evidence best I can and show it. That's what I want. That's what I want to do. Oh, hey Lee, what's going on? Or I'm sorry, Les. My eyes aren't so good. Yeah, I was just updating um, everyone about what we're doing. Our progress on the West Branch Witch Project and some future investigations coming up. Thanks, Karen. I'm gonna try. I've never been really in front of a camera or that, so it's a learning curve for me. But I'm I'm interested in it, and I don't get scared easy, and I'm looking to find something. So I'm not going to be the guy running around screaming if something gets thrown at him in the dark or something. I'm just going to be standing there like an idiot, probably getting hit by it, but I want to just capture it, document it. Yeah, there's my cat, one of them. Yeah, I've had some people talk to me about attachments too, which I've heard of. My father gave me some advice too because he knows I've been doing this, and I've actually got um, some bloodline in my family, my mother's side, with some medium um, abilities, or whatever you want to call it. But there's some with high sensitivity to paranormal things, some pretty high with some of my aunts on my mother's side, and I think even further down. And my father's telling me about um, his grandfather was someone that local people used to go to whenever they had um, occurrences that were, you want to call them paranormal, or a lot of people believed in, a lot of it was religious based, and he was someone that people used to look to come and help get rid of evil spirits or demons. So I don't know, there's something that just seemed to draw to me, this kind of investigating, or just this interest in this, what's happening out there, what's going on, what happens, whether when you die or after you die, whether your spirit imprints where you're at, maybe when you die, or there's a whole lot of guesswork and theories out there. But there's some of it I kind of can say that there's something to it. EVPs are pretty amazing. It's hard to believe that how it happens, but it just happens. You hear people talking, you hear people saying things. Sometimes it's residual, sometimes it's intelligent, and it just, you don't hear it, but it's there on devices that you recorded on. That's how my first experience happened, and it just blew my mind. Like, how did this happen, or where did this come from? Foreman Brothers. No, I've never heard of them before. Dreams, yeah. There's something to dreams. Now, I mean, it sounds kind of like, I don't know if you want to call it like some kind of conspiracy, but I do think there's something to dreams. There's something with, your brain, maybe the capability, or something that obviously you can't explain, but there is something to your dreams. And I kind of, I don't really have a whole study to back that up. I just noticed there's some connection to dreams and something in life, whether it's in the future or the past, or something, something unusual. But I can tell, my dreams affect me sometimes, and sometimes they do something to you. And I think it's something you don't understand, but is, somehow real and connected to all life, all energy somehow. Yeah, I hear you, Les. It's like being a believer is kind of like a, when it comes to things that happen paranormally, or things that happen, whether it's interacting with some kind of energy or spirit. It's like everybody has experiences, things that they uh, run into or see, and it's real to you. And until something like that happens, everybody's usually a skeptic, and that was the same with me until something happened. Which, Les, I don't know if you watched my video, but I talk about my first experience. If you want to check that out, it's not too long, but I give some details about what happened. Okay. Nightmare Paranormal. That sounds pretty frightening, but cool. Yeah, I know. When my grandmother passed, which was about 10 years ago, there was some times where I had dreams, and she was in them, which I'm not sure if somehow it was really connected to maybe her spirit still, but it felt like it was. Now I don't know if that's just because, you might be going through an emotional state or something from the loss, and your subconscious when you're sleeping makes you see and hear things. But I felt like it was more to it. Maybe somehow like a contact with you after she passed, or with me, or if it happens with someone else, some kind of something that's beyond our understanding here, you know. Yeah, Mitch, you kind of feel the same way. I'm not saying every time you dream about somebody somehow it's connected, because I've had dreams about people who are alive, and it's hard to say if somehow that's connected. I know it has a lot to do with probably just you know your thoughts and your things you think about. Sometimes they manifest in dreams, but I think sometimes the things that like I said, I've had with my dreams, and family that have passed away and things, and sometimes it just seems different. You think that somehow it's probably connected to part of the afterlife we don't understand. You know. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, our first video, that one, that one was kind of rough for me to watch without any editing. We spent the better part of like 2 hours trying to find that location that was the site where that was the area where the West Branch witch was laid to rest or pressed. Um, it took us a long time to get there. When we got there, we were recording it the actual first time. That was when you saw us. We found it for the first time, so we were just exploring, and we didn't do a lot of trying to interact with any spirits that were there. But you'll see in the episodes coming up, they interacted quite a bit with us, especially with the EVPs. Said I keep going through, and sometimes I keep finding more that I missed. Um, I'm a couple days in now, and I'm listening to some of them, and boy, they're really blowing me away with some of the things that I hear, some of the things that are being said in these EVPs, and it's pretty amazing. So hopefully you kind of get excited. Well, if you do get excited by that kind of thing, there'll be a lot of cool stuff that you'll see. I think we're going to a park over here in Kent. Jerry was talking about it. There's supposed to be an Indian burial site, and a lot of activity has been reported over in the park over here. So I think that's the lead that Jerry's trying to bring me in on. So I'm not sure if we'll release that before we do it, or if we'll just post a video after we check it out. If it's just like a one night thing for an investigation. But I know once we're done with the series, and you see how it unfolds with the West Branch Witch, we'll revisit there again. I'm sure, because it just it seems like it just has a lot to try to comprehend there. And hey, Painless. Oh yeah, you're just in time for more rambling from me. But I was just kind of giving an update, testing my equipment. This first time I've gone live here, and want to see how my camera works. So I thought I'd see who shows up, if anybody wants to talk. Just talking about some things, and Jerry and I are looking at checking out a place to investigate now. For right now, we're done with the West Branch, which probably revisit in the future. I'm sure we will. And you'll see Painless. You'll see that as the days progressed at the site there in the park, the activity picks up quite a bit. And I've said I'm going through some EVPs. I keep finding more and more on my audio devices, and it's blown my mind with some of the things that I hear, some of the things that were on my recording devices. It's pretty amazing, and some of them are like, man, I mean, I'm jumping out of my seat with some of them. It's hard to believe. I'm not going to go too much. I don't want to spoil a whole lot of it, but I tell you what, my name has been mentioned almost at least once, like every day in an EVP or through that spirit box. And that I think I was talking about that, and I kind of went off about the attachments. I've had people give me advice talking about attachments, something you should worry about when it comes to energy or spirits. And after this experience, I've really been um, taking that to heart. My father recommended me to um, look up the Saint Michael the Archangel prayer as a way to help protect you from evil spirits, and that's something that um, I've got that prayer not quite memorized, but I've got it with me. And before I do this, that's going to be one of the first things I do, say that prayer, because this, for a first experience there at the West Branch area in the park, I actually put a lot more, I'd say, belief or concern for something possibly following me or attaching itself to me. And it was that intense. I mean, I had the feelings weren't necessarily bad. I didn't really get bad feelings there personally, but listening to the EVPs and some of the things kind of made me worry a little bit more, because some of them are pretty devious. And I started thinking about the attachment thing, because that my very first experience was like an attachment through my mobile phone. I was using it as a recording device. Somehow something contacted me and actually talked to me directly by my name through my mobile phone, which that right there, just for a first time personal experience, having something talk to you directly in between a phone call that knew your name and was trying to talk to you, said hello to me. I had a whole new respect for what kind of things you might deal with when it comes to spirits or energy. Yeah, holy water was something that somebody else mentioned to me. My equipment and things like that, to maybe put some holy water on. You got goosebumps, painless man. Holy crap! I'm telling you, listen to some of these EVPs. I can't wait for you guys to see them. Well, you'll see them and hear them with the titling. We'll put the captions up when they come up. But boy, hearing my name like that, it the attachment thing really made started making me think, and that's why I brought that up, because I really never thought about attachments too much. Because sometimes you think, my will, my I feel like my soul is pretty strong, and I wasn't thinking too much that something could possibly like attach itself to me and follow me. But after this experience, for sure, I took a little bit more caution and what I'm doing. Yep, wear whole armor of God, Mitch. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'm gonna try to do this safely as I can, and make sure that I don't bring anything unwanted with me. Nothing, try to keep something from attaching itself to me. That's for sure. Yeah, I might just through, like you said, through what my family genes. I know there's some heightened sensitivity to paranormal things on my mother's side, and as they have some of the women seem to have a lot of medium abilities. Even my half sisters, my mother tells me some things. So, there might be something there, that I can detect. There is a little something. I mean, I definitely don't feel like I have any kind of like medium abilities, but there is some kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but there is something that I feel like I'm a little bit in tune with the environment where I might be at and things, and I think even like my kids too, my son, at times when we had things happen at the house that we had some things going on, you know, um, they were pretty sensitive to some of the things. Well, I know it's getting late, and after last night, I had a lot of time. I was up getting this done, and Jerry and I were, on the road quite a bit, back and forth, and kept going back to try to get a good thumbnail. So we were driving. We almost left New Springfield. Then we come back because I remembered a cool site. I'm like, that'd make a good thumbnail. So we were driving back and forth. Jerry was getting all ticked off at me for wanting to go back just for going through a slow drive and getting a snapshot through some of the area. And we were back late, and I was up late. So I'm probably going to get to bed and get some sleep. But I'm going to have a lot of days off here. I usually work like 410s. So, my boss gives me a few days off, work 4 days and get 3 days off, which I've been using now, trying to get this editing and stuff done. So, we'll be seeing well, you guys will be seeing it, the second part coming up here, the West Branch Witch, and hopefully I can get this caught up and we can just roll with the last few episodes pretty quick together. Let's close any doors I may open. I think I know what you mean. Let's see. Painless. I'm not really sure, honestly. Um, I don't know. Everybody sometimes thinks, you might just scare yourself sometimes with things. So it's hard to say that if I ever thought some of the things I may have experienced, whether I was scared of something or I felt something, I was always more like real logical, practical thinking. I usually would think it's just, that little fear you have of something that you might think could be there, but you don't know, and you just kind of scare yourself. You know, when I was younger, that kind of stuff, yeah. But whenever people would talk about things, I'd watch some shows and see, these guys or girls, whoever, doing their shows, investigating paranormal things and personal experiences when they were there. I kind of, I never really put much weight in what they were doing. But EVPs, when I started seeing how that happens, and and if you don't think they're making stuff up, and you believe the EVPs were there and some of the video footage, I started thinking, well, there probably is something there, but it's hard to for me to just be like, yeah, that's definitely got to be 100% real when you've never experienced that kind of stuff. So I think once I started experiencing that kind of, when you started experiencing something that's paranormal, unexplainable, and you kind of start to I don't know, maybe that's where I think my heightened, or when I say I feel like I have a slight connection, or slight ability to feel an environment. I think I started noticing it then, once I started really once I noticed something and I realized there is something, and then I started trying to find more. Then you start kind of maybe that's when I started realizing that I can, you know, maybe sense certain things to a certain point. But maybe that's best way to explain it. Probably once I started experiencing these things for myself for the first time. Okay, well, like I said, it's getting late, so I think I'll head on out, try to get some sleep. Thanks for coming in and chatting, and I'm sure you guys will be happy with the next episodes coming up, and hopefully you're going to be wowed by some of the evidence we got. And good night, everyone, and I'll see you guys soon.